Hi, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. So, what is something that is really hard for almost all of us to do, but yet so essential, and we're doing it all the time, whether we realize it or not? I will get into that here in a minute. I'm just reminding you about my 12-week online course. It starts June 24th and it goes to September 9th. It's every Monday online to where we meet together with like-minded people and we grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I was stuck for 30 plus years into my negative thought pattern and had a lot of anger, bitterness, and resentment and grudges. And I was a victim. I was in victim mode for all those years. And I truly thought it was everything outside myself that was the reason why I was having all these troubles. And I didn't realize the power of myself. So when I hit rock bottom in 2015, in the fall of 2015, I hit rock bottom and I didn't know where to turn well, I did know where to turn. I just didn't know the answers. So I did. I went to my source, which is God. And I said, okay, God, I have hit rock bottom and I am in the darkest of dark places and I don't know how to find happiness. I don't know how this works. You're going to have to show me. And little bit by little bit, he didn't give me everything all at once because I wouldn't have been ready. But little bit by little bit, he introduced books. People came into my life, classes, just all sorts of new ideas were coming to me. And it's just been a learning curve from there on out. And I continue to learn. So our learning is never done. We may think, oh, I forgave that person. That was a really hard situation to forgive someone. I forgave somebody. Okay, check. I've got forgiveness down. No, that's not the way it works. We just are continually learning to love. We're continually learning to forgive. We're continually learning to be courageous and getting out of our comfort zone. We're continually learning to be patient. We're continually learning to, you get the idea, let go of anger and become more like Jesus Christ. So there are just things that we're not done in this life. It's continuous work. It's a lot of work. Well, I went from stuck and just angry and not knowing how to do things to getting tools and moving forward, being able to move forward. And I truly believe it was a few years after that, few short years, it was just 2019 to where 2019, 2020 is where I realized what my life mission and purpose is all about. It's about helping others on their journey to heal spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I suffered physically. I came into this world fighting for my life, and I shouldn't be living today according to doctors' notes. My twin sister and I should have died well before we hit our teen years. And I have had all these decades blessed and given to me. And I just know the things that I have learned over over my lifespan has not been for naught. It's for a reason. We have things happen to us for a reason. And we have our trials and we have our hardships to help us grow. And I get into a lot of different healing modalities and things that we can do to help us on our journey. So every Monday, June 24th through September 9th, I have a 1 to 1.5 hour online live Zoom class that has a lot of visuals to help teach things. And I also have homework to go with it. And I have a 15-minute phone call that I offer each individual each week to uh, connect personally to help you reach your desired goals. So that is that. I help people go from victim to victor through Christ, and it's a beautiful journey. So come join me on that. The link will be in the comments below. So what is it that we all have a hard time doing, but yet we do it all the time, not even realizing? But communication. Communication, we are communicating to people all the time, not necessarily using words, but our thoughts. And thoughts are powerful, and the communication that we broadcast to groups in rooms, thoughts are energy. Energy is everywhere. You are energy. You are made up of energy, a lot of vibrations, and since we have our all energy, uh, things are picked up by the subconscious mind. So we have these communications going on all the time. Uh, I've done so many experiments with this. It's incredible. I can't discount it. And yet I know this much when there is such a vast, huge amounts that I haven't even tapped into. The human have the human mind hasn't even tapped into. Anyway, so just think I know about this much when there is just so much more to learn. But what I've learned, I like to share on my journey because communication is so important. It's so important to be present with our feelings, our thoughts, and recognizing that whatever we are feeling and thinking is going out to the world, and it's we get back what we put out, right? It's the law of karma. The law of karma is talked about in the scriptures. You reap what you sow, whatever you put out, you're going to get back. And it is so true with thoughts. So, communication is most people, I read in a book, 85% have a hard time communicating, are ineffective communicators. And guess what? I fall in that 85%. Communication is something that I will always be working on because it's just something that doesn't come easy or comfortably for a lot of people. So, how many times have you felt bothered about something but weren't able to express your thoughts? Or you just kept it in and you bit your tongue and you just didn't express what you were thinking? Far too many times I can think for myself. So, how many times is there a tough, sticky situation, maybe within your family unit, most likely within your family unit, or maybe with a neighbor, and you really want to talk to a particular person, but you can't, and it's hard, and you just choose, rather than talking to that person, you choose to stay silent, but yet thoughts are energy, and there's just this elephant in the room that everybody knows is there, but nobody is addressing. So isn't that crazy how thoughts and communication is happening all the time? Maybe not verbally, but always non-verbally. Communication is key. So it's important what we communicate with words and what we communicate with our actions and our thoughts. So 65% of our communication is done through our actions. Our body language will let people know exactly how we're feeling, how we're addressing life. And so it's important to watch what kind of energy we are bringing into our life. I taught an energy class to some kids, just to show them the importance of body language. And so we just did this little exercise outside, and we just did. I said, okay, I want you to walk with your shoulders down, and you're looking at the ground. Maybe you've had a hard day. Somebody's been calling you names, and you are just torn to pieces, and you're just not loving that moment. And how would you walk? And they had their shoulders drooping, their head down, not a pleasant look on their face. And they walked from point A to point B, and that was felt. They felt it. And so then after they had that exercise, I said, okay, we're going to do another exercise. This time you are on top of your game. You have all the confidence you need at this point because you have achieved this massive goal, and you're on top of the world, and you're feeling so good, you're happy about it, and now you're going to walk from point A to point B. And what does that look like? And they all had their heads high with a smile on their face, and they were confident, and you could see the difference. So, and it was energy, and I felt it, they felt it. And so we feel energies around us. We feel the second someone walks in a room, maybe you're there picking up some pizza, or you're waiting in the grocery line and somebody is coming into your energy field or your vision. Anybody that comes into contact with us, whether we can see them or hear them, that is all energy, and it affects our energy, and our energy that we put out affects other people. That's why it's so important to be on top of how we are feeling and what we want to present to the world. If you want to help bring the world down, then you're going to continue on with your poor me victim mindset and complain about everything that you can find to complain at. Or if you want to lift the world up and bring them up to a higher state of being and acting and feeling, we are going to raise our energy up. And how we raise our energy up starts with our thoughts. It starts with what we are bringing to the table of gratitude, being grateful for everything that we have and grateful for the moving forward and grateful for every situation that presents itself to us, whether whether it's pleasant or not. Okay, we get to choose how we respond to things, and the way we respond to things is huge because it affects our communication. It affects our communication to the world. It affects in everything. So the one thing I like to do is let's talk about communicating. We have something that we want to talk to a person, to an individual. We want to connect and we want to express our thoughts. It's really hard. We don't want to. We've kind of suppressed it for a while, but how do we move forward? Prayer is my number one go-to to help move forward in communication. I just say, God, I really have this tough situation and I need to, I'm asking you to soften my heart, their heart, so that we can come together and have a conversation and solve this dilemma that I have going on. Will you please help and please let the Spirit be present so that we can both learn and teach one another. And it is huge. It makes a difference in your communicating, and communication is something that is constantly being done through our body language. When I was in my negative thinking, and I still have to work on this every day, but when I was in my negative thinking, I just had my eyebrows furrowed and I was just in the grind and trying to do things and how to I'd come in the house, maybe from a meeting or work or wherever it was I was, and I'd come in and I would just start maybe barking out orders, pick up this mess, who left this here, what's going on, I've been gone for all these hours and no one's doing anything, and oh my goodness, and I would just fly off. But so it's constant work. When I leave the home, I try to come in and, oh gosh, it sure feels great in here. I can tell you haven't fought. Or, oh, walking in with a smile, just changing your physical demeanor and choosing to be happy, choosing to lift up your energy and the energy of others around. So, I did an experiment too. Okay. So I did two experiments. I went into Walmart on two different occasions. One occasion, I decided to just go in stone face. I was by myself both times. I was by myself going into Walmart and I was just stone faced and looked around, got what I needed, and really didn't. I avoided eye contact, didn't make eye contact with people, and it turned out just as expected. Nothing eventful, and I didn't add anything to anybody's energy. In fact, I might have um, offended someone along the way, maybe because I didn't look happy, but I didn't look sad, and I didn't really look angry. But maybe somebody took one of my looks the wrong way. I don't know, but I just know it did not have a positive impact on the people around me. So the next time I went in, I decided, you know what, I'm going in, I'm going by myself, and I am going to have this big smile on my face. So I had this big smile on my face. And if that isn't an uncomfortable thing to do, I challenge you to do it. Go walk into somewhere all by yourself. You're not with friends laughing, oh, that is so funny. And you're not smiling because you're in a good, fun conversation. You are smiling all by yourself. You are just all grins. And I tell you what, people are going to wonder what you are up to. What are they so happy about? So I did. I had this smile that was on my face, and I made sure I gave eye contact and smiled at everybody I came across. And I even got a conversation going between two different guys. And I normally, these are rough looking crowd. These two guys that happened to talk to me looked of a rough sort, right? Maybe, biker dude comes to mind. They were just rough and tumble, and a lot of times we humans want to preconceive and prejudge people because, ooh, they look mean, they look rough, they look tough. And a lot of under those rough, mean look kind of people, there's just a soft teddy bear underneath it all. And we just never know what's there. And so these rough looking men on two separate occasions, the first time I walked in, and it was walking into the store, and he says, well, someone looks happy. And I said, I am. How are you doing? And he said, well, I am doing fantastic. And I said, well, good. It serves you right. And he said, you know what? You just made my day. You are just so happy. And I walked in, and then I continued to smile because I was grateful I made his day. And then the same kind of experience happened on the way, leaving the checkout, and I ran into a guy and I just smiled at him and I said, hello, how are you doing? And he said, hi, I'm doing great. How are you? And I said, I am doing fantastic. Life is so good. And he was like, well, yeah, it is good. And it just, I know it just cheered his day and lifted his spirits for a complete stranger to smile and engage in conversation with him. So we get to choose how we show up to different situations, all situations. And prayer is my number one go-to to help in my communication. And what are we communicating to the world? Are we communicating success? Are we communicating failure? Are we communicating happiness? Are we communicating frustration? Are we communicating worry? Are we communicating trust? These are things that we can communicate all the time, and to be aware of, something to be aware of. And I'm not saying to don't feel your emotions, and if you're angry, don't be angry. Just pay attention to what it is you're putting out there and what you want to attract, because you will reap what you sow. We will get back. The law of karma, however you want to look at that. Whatever we put out, we will get back. So just keep that in mind. Put in the comments what it is you are going to put out there, because you're going to get it back. What kind of thoughts are you going to put out there? And I am inviting you to subscribe to this channel and share it with others, and join me on my journey of a positive message each day. And God bless. And until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.